All hail the Clicks crew. Alright guys, today we are taking a look at a competitive Heroclix Vulture team. So we are going to take a look at that. It's going to be a shield themed team, and I think you guys are going to be pretty excited to see it. This is not something that you run at your normal venue or anything like that. This is, you run this for competitive things, otherwise people are going to be mad at you. So before we get into this team build, I want to take a chance to let you know that Mr. Clicksflix is sponsored by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the ROC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning role for our gaming needs. You can visit them at luckydicecafe.com or on their Facebook page using the link found in the description of this video. Mr. Clicksflix is also sponsored by trollandtoad.com, one of the largest online gaming retailers. Visit trollandtoad.com and use the promo code Mr. Clicksflix for 5% off your Heroclix order today. Alright guys, so we're going to take a look at this competitive Vulture team. I like it a lot. I've ran it a few times, and I think you guys are going to like it too. There's a bunch of variants of this Vulture team, some themed, some not themed, but this is my variant of a Vulture team. So this is a shield theme team. So why even bother with Vulture team? You guys might not even know what Vulture does. So here's the Vulture that we're using. He is the prime uncommon from the Earth X Heroclix set. So here is his character card. He's number 19B in the set. He has Magia and Brute keywords, so we're not seeing that shield keyword there, but don't worry, we got a way around that. He's got a trait, a special on his movement, and improved movement ignores characters. His trait is time to make my getaway. When Vulture KOs a character after resolutions, he can use charge at no cost, and that is what we're looking to exploit with this team, is use that charge and hopefully KO our opponent's entire team in one turn. And then the special on his movement is, let's see what this suit can do. Charge, sidestep. When Vulture uses sidestep, he may roll a d6. 4 through 6 he can use sidestep a second time this turn. So it gives him charge, and it also allows him to use sidestep, possibly a second sidestep, to allow some extra movement and stuff like that, which is really cool. And then we're going to go ahead and take a look at his dial. He's only 50 points, has a 9 movement with that special, 11 attack, super strength, 18 defense with toughness, and 3 damage. So what we're looking to do is really, one, see how we're going to get him on a shield team, and then also we're going to try to at least max out his attack and damage values. Try our best to also max out that movement value also. So Vulture is going to be our main dude. That's the guy that's going to win the match for us. But we got to figure out how are we getting him on a shield team. Well, in order to do that, we're going to look to the Captain America and the Avengers set, and we are going to use this Steve Rogers. So Steve Rogers here is number 38 in the set. He has the Avengers, Howling Commandos, Invaders, Shield, and Soldier keywords. He has 3 traits. Really, the only one that matters is we'll take all the help we can get if you're worthy. So it's leadership. During force construction, you may choose a standard character of 50 points or less. That character loses its printed keywords for the entire game and then gains either Avengers or Shield keyword. Choose one. So this is how we're getting Vulture, the Shield keyword. And this cap's also giving us a very important leadership, so that we get our 4 actions per turn. And if we take a look at this, he's also giving us a perplex, which is good. And then he also has a shield team ability for other things. That's not going to help Vulture, but that can help other things that are on this team. So keep that in mind. He also has sidestep for things like that too. So yeah, not a bad figure, but the whole reason he's on here, make Vulture a shield team member. Okay, so we've got 1 perplex. We need probably at least 5 more. So another good one we're going with for this team is Sharon Carter. So here's the figure. And this one is from the Captain America and the Avengers set, number 006. She has the Avengers shield, politician and spy keywords. And she's on here Realistically, just for her trait or her special on her damage, I'm sorry, which is standby for updates. Perplex. When Sharon Carter uses it to target another friendly character with the shield keyword, that character can use outwit until your next turn. So basically, we're giving our vulture an ability to outwit in case somebody has invincibility or something like that, where we think they're going to live through our attack. Gives us a way to get around that. And she also has this trait, which is best part of my day, leadership. If Sharon Carter is adjacent to another friendly character named Captain America or Steve Rogers, she and those characters increase the result of their d6 rolls for leadership by +1, if not already increased by the trait with this name. So basically, if we have her adjacent to Steve Rogers, they both get a +1 to their leadership rolls. Gives you a couple different leaderships, so you have a good chance at making sure that Vulture and a couple other things can try to maintain some action economy. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at another perplexer, and for this we're going to go to Black Panther and the Illuminati. We're going to go with Everett K Ross. So he's number 027 in the set. He has the shield, Wakanda, and politician keywords, and he has this special on his damage, which is I just sold my soul for a pair of pants. Perplex, unique modifier. When Everett K Ross uses Perplex, he may modify the chosen combat value +2 instead. If he does, at the end of your turn, roll a d6. 1 through 4, Everett K Ross, deal Everett K Ross 1 damage. Hopefully you're not going to be giving your opponent a turn after that, so he's not going to be taking that damage, but he has that special his entire dial, so you can't afford to miss that roll a couple times. So that gets us up to basically 4 different perplexes, and something to give this team a little bit more swing for Vulture is you always want on a Vulture team a way to TK. So what we're doing for that one is we're reaching into the Captain America and the Avengers set yet again. Here, we'll get a decent look at him. For Fixer, Fixer is number 050 in the set. He has the Aim, Hydra, Masters of Evil, Shield, Thunderbolts, and Scientist keywords. And what he's here for is, 1, he has a Perplex, which is a unique modifier also. When Fixer uses standard Perplex, or you can use it as a unique modifier. When he uses it, he may instead choose a single combat value other than damage modified on all friendly characters within 4 squares of the line of fire. So it's kind of like a nice multi-character Perplex, which is really helpful. But he's also on here for that TK he's sporting on his first 2 clicks, so that we can TK out Vulture after he's been all perplexed up, or TK him out and then perplex him up, depending on how our board's set up. And then he's able to use his side steps and his charges and stuff like that to get out there. So next, we could always use more perplexes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with 3 of the shield diplomats from Black Panther and the Illuminati. So what they are is, 1, they give you an extra 3 to your theme bonus, bringing us up to 8. And the other thing that they do is they have these specials on their damage, which is C. We can all benefit here. Perplex, but only to target friendly characters. When Shield Diplomat uses it, you must also choose an opposing character to modify the same combat value +1 until your next turn. So what we're using him for is either attack value, damage value, or speed value, and we're choosing somebody similar to himself on the opponent's team to also increase. Now, since we're not increasing their defenses for anybody with this, it's not going to help your opponent, because hopefully you're going to be able to KO their whole force with Vulture that turn, or at least whoever it was you perplexed up, so you're not going to really pay for it that much. So we are going to be using 3, and another nice thing about this guy is he does have an 18 defend, and that will help out a couple characters on this team. So we got 3 of those. So now we've got plenty of perplexes, and now we just have to finish duding out our Vulture. So what people typically do when they use Vulture, or I mean basically always do, is they use these Dr. Octopus Arms from the Earth X Heroclix set number S004. So what do these do? They're indestructible, and they give giant reach, 2 flurry, improved movement, ignores elevated and hindering, which Vulture already does because of his flight. But the giant reach 2 and the flurry are what we're really after with this. So, and then there are indeed points left over for things like ID cards, map bonuses, and things like that. So I want you guys in the comments of this video to go ahead and put that stuff so that I can see what you'd run. I typically have things like a Magneto wanted poster, Wolverine wanted poster, Cyclops, and Iceman ID cards, student ID cards. And then see where we're at on points from there. But I want to hear what you guys would put with this to go with it. So the strategy here is pretty aggro. It's a very aggressive team. So what you're going to do is you're going to use first turn. Hopefully you win roll, because if you don't, your opponent is going to try to somehow, some way destroy these Dr. Octopus Arms first turn. If they're able to do that, this team is still effective, but not nearly as effective, and we'll get into why here in a second. So your first turn, you're going to TK these back to Vulture with Fixer. Then you're going to take your power action to equip. You're going to perplex up Vulture's defense a bunch of times, as well as Fixer's a bunch of times, and then just kind of cluster together. And then what you're going to do your next turn, roll for your leaderships. If you can, if you only succeed on one of them, you want to pull one off of Vulture. If you don't succeed on any of them, you're still going to be okay for this team, but you really want to succeed on one of those leadership roles. So what you would do then, depending on how your leadership roles go, you would TK out with Fixer. You're doing that no matter what, so it's either a push or it's not. You're doing that no matter what happened with your leadership roles. You're going to, at that point, depending on how you're set up, so something like this maybe, where, people are kind of like this, something similar to that, maybe not exactly that. I'm just doing this on the fly. So you TK the object back, you take your power action, you equip it. Then your next turn, you would perplex with, you'd roll for your leadership, and you'd get your +1 from them. You'd perplex with him, perplex with him, perplex with him. Then you would TK him out his 6, and then you would sidestep with Sharon so that you could perplex him up. Then you'd also use Everett K Ross and your other 2 shield diplomats to get him up to a 14 attack for 6 damage. And then really what you're doing after that is you're sidestepping and you're flurrying. If you can, you want to move some of these guys so that they can draw some kind of line of fire for a prob, but that doesn't always happen because he has such a long swing. But if you can, you're going to be using 2 actions with this opening gambit with him. So you're going to use the TK and you're going to use the charge. You still have 2 actions left, so you would try to move the shield diplomats so that they could theme team prob the Vulture in case he gets a crit miss or something like that. That's pretty devastating for him. But anyway, so the idea is you charge and flurry with them. 14 attack for 6 is not very likely to miss. Even if they have a 20, you still only need a 6 to hit, and you got 2 chances at it. So you hit, and the thing about this is that there's been a ruling where with his flurries, if you're able to knock out 2 different characters with his flurry, like let's say you attack a different shield diplomat with the Vulture, your opponent has 2 of them, you KO 1 with your first flurry, that grants him, that met the requirement of his trait where he can charge for free at no cost. And then you, with your other part of your flurry, attack a different one and KO it. That gives him another stored flurry and charge. So you're able to kind of stack your charges in your flurry so that you can just keep stacking and keep stacking. So that by the time you're done with your opponent, you might have 5 or 6 charges and saved up if you're able to KO multiple characters in a turn. And that's just what makes him so nasty and so deadly. Is not only is he hitting you for 12, but then if he knocked anybody out doing that, he's able to do it again and again and again and again until he moves. And again, he's just going to have that 12 attack. I'm sorry, that 14 attack for 6 damage, and it is totally devastating and brutal. I've used it, I've seen people use it. It is a good team, and it is now a shield themed team, so you're very likely to get on a good map for him. That was his only drawback before, is that he had kind of not so good keywords. But now that problem is solved. You guys let me know what you think of this team in the comments below. I always enjoy reading this stuff. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a share. It really helps keep me motivated to make these videos. That's all I have for you today. As always, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.